I was just telling everybody we can't do anything anyway today. What? I am now. That's what I was doing. Ms. Hall. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know I saw your colleague on the side of the road on my way in.
Yes, Your Honor.
He was a little
I'm covering for him
up.
today.
What's that?
I'm covering for him today.
Whatever you want to do for him today is fine. He was really quite shooken up. It was kind of a bad accident.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was told.
Yeah. I urged him to get into the ambulance. He was standing upright and was able to talk, but he needed to get checked out. So anything you want to do in Mr. Wilson's case is fine by me.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep.
I don't know how long it's going to track for.
What's the word?
We'll try to proceed on. I don't know how long it's going to take.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay. Let's go. We can go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. Hopefully, yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. If you need me to stop or anything to get things working over there, you let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right. And we are on the record?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So good morning, everybody. We are on the record and we are live streaming on YouTube. Happy New Year. Let me pull up my docket here. As I indicated earlier, I did get information this morning that unfortunately our county, in fact, the whole circuit's COVID numbers have exceeded a level that the chief judge has determined is appropriate to have jurors come into the building. And so at least this week and next week, he has determined that it won't be safe to have jurors into the building. So with that in mind, State, please announce your presence, and I'll just address defense counsel and see what you all want to do.
Thank you, Your Honor. Michael Rosinka for the state.
All right.
And
Mr.
Lawrence Brad for the state as well, Your Honor.
Good morning to you both. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Rosinko and Mr. Rabb. All right. Mr. Oros, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you, sir? Happy New Year.
I'm doing fine. How are you, sir?
Okay. This is 20 CT 47, State of Florida versus Bernard Gordon Elliton.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, we would respectfully request a continuance to the next court date that you have available.
All right. Oh, one moment.
All right.
My calendar here.
I'm sorry, what was the name?
This is Bernard Gordon Ellington.
Okay.
And my next pretrial is January 27th at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Yes, sir. You as well. Bye.
All right. Ms. Upson, good morning. Can you hear me okay? Ms. Upson?
Sorry, Judge, it wouldn't unmute. Now it did.
Oh, that's okay. Last week during traffic court, I was telling my bailiff, I lost host control. So one of the 55 people I had on Zoom had started controlling the muting and unmuting. It got a little.
Oh my goodness!
Yes. So, anyway, moving on. Yes, ma'am. This is State of Florida versus Douglas Morrow Gibbler, 20 MM91.
This was queued up for trial, so if we can just get on the queue, set it for the next pre-trial until we get another date.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is gonna be January 27th, 9 o'clock for pretrial. I will say this, I'm primary during one of the weeks in March. And as long as I can have human beings enter the building, I'm gonna try really hard to have a trial. So.
Your Honor, we also have you as primary on the week of February 8th.
No, I don't believe that's correct.
Oh, that's the calendar we have. but
I find that surprising. Hold on a moment. I'd be very happy to hear that.
I know you're excited to go, so I thought you would be.
I haven't had a jury trial in a year. So yes, I'm very much anxious to have a trial, but let me take a look.
And that's the calendar as of December 10th. So unless it changed after that, Your Honor.
Let's see. All right. Oh, it's February 8th, not March 8th. Sorry. Long weekend. I meant February. I'm back up again in March. All right, so I'm primary February 8th. That's what I meant to say. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Rob.
Thank you, Mr. Rob. That's entirely what I meant to say.
I know that Judge Brown is itching for a jury trial, so I don't want to make him wait any longer.
Well, I appreciate that. You just bumped me up the list. That's great. Great news. All right. So from that January 27th date, fingers crossed. Let's hope we can actually have a trial.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Upson. Take care.
Have a good day.
Ms. Bauer. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing okay. Let's see. I've got Debbie Lorraine Amby, 20 CT 475.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Amby has decided that she will resolve her case by way of a plea.
Okay.
But she doesn't live here, so it needs to be a plea in absentia. If you could give me some time to get that completed.
There was a motion to revoke bond filed on December 30th. Is that being?
I think that was one of the
contemplated as part of
motivating factors in the plea agreement.
It often is. All right. So the state has asked me to hold off on addressing the motion to revoke bond because there was a pending plea agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So January 27th then?
That's fine.
All right. January 27th, 9 o'clock for pretrial.
All right.
And
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is he going to be playing in person or?
No, I'll do a plea in absentia.
Okay. All right. Very good. Is that your only case?
I believe so.
All right. Well,
Is that my only case?
No, I'm checking. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Take care. All right. Ms. Hall, I'll let you just call your cases as you see fit.
Okay, I'll just be calling mine and David's cases.
Sure.
So I have Brandon Gall, 19MM 2422. If we could just put that back on the pretrial docket.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may, the state would like to announce a null pros in 19MM 2422.
Any objection, Ms. Hall?
None, Your Honor.
Sure you don't want it back in the pretrial?
I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I actually did see a lawyer once object to a null pros. I'm not going to tell you who it was. Yes, it was an null pros. Mr. Osinko, you really need to check out your microphone. I don't know what it is. There's something about your mic that is.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I did have IT look into it, and they said it was working fine. I can have them check it out again. My apologies.
I mean, I'll ask you guys, Mr. Rad, Ms. Hall, is it just me or is his mic a little bit soft?
I think it's really low. I mean, Mr. Rab, you're muted. Okay.
I can't hear you at all, Mr. Rad.
Mine was exceptionally low. Mr. Osinka's is quite a bit low. He just has to yell more.
There you go.
I'll have them check it out. My apologies.
I give you permission to use your outside voice while on Zoom. Okay. All right. So 19mm 2422 was no pros. All right, next case, please.
Kayla Gralla, she has two cases, 19 CT 2967 and 19 MM 2407. I see that there's also a motion to consolidate at this date.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Oh,
There's
sorry,
a third case, 20mm 416 as well.
I don't know if they were in talks about consolidating these, but I see that there is a motion to consolidate, so.
All right. Well, okay, so we've got 20mm 416, 19 CT 2967, and 19mm 2407. Looks like there's a motion to consolidate on the 219 cases. Ms. Hall, are you objecting to the motion to consolidate?
No, I just don't know if like what they've discussed with Mr. Wilson. I don't know.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. The motion was set for argument today. I understand based on the circumstances, if maybe it would be preferred to argue this at a different time.
Ms. Hall, yeah, if you don't know Mr. Wilson's position on it,
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Rabb, if you can't, confidently represent Mr. Wilson's position, I feel more comfortable continuing it.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Understood.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's put both of these on the pretrial, all three of these, excuse me, on the pretrial, please.
Your Honor, is there a date that you prefer to hear the motion?
For a motion to consolidate, that won't take more than 5 minutes, will it?
I don't anticipate it, Your Honor.
We can hear it on the pretrial. That's fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
January 28th at 9 o'clock, please, for pretrial, all three cases.
You just said it, okay.
Yes, please. And then I said we can hear the motion at the pretrial. Yep.
Okay, then I have Haley Lukasavich, 20mm 854. We could put that one back on the pretrial. That's my case.
All right, 28th at 9 o'clock.
Austin Mackin, 19mm 2391. If we could put this one back on the pretrial as well.
Okay. 28th at 9 o'clock.
Sammy Martinez, 20mm 112, also on the pretrial.
Okay, 28th, 9 o'clock.
John McAuliffe, 20 CT 662, on the pretrial docket.
All right. Same thing, 28th, 9 o'clock, please. Do you need me to slow down because you're doing
Yeah,
things?
I'm gonna check the cases as fast. The computer will go fast.
Okay, hold on. Time out.
I'm writing it down and I'll-
No, it's okay. Tell me when you're ready. Sorry. Did you need us to repeat anything?
No.
Okay. The only good news for Mr. Wilson this morning is that he had, at least until this morning, a really nice car. It probably protected him well.
Yeah, it is a really nice car.
It was.
People would comment on it when he would drive us to lunch.
It's not what I would normally expect a public defender to have. But like I said, he got rear-ended really hard. And so luckily, that thing's was probably really well built and probably protected him pretty well. The other driver had still not gotten out of the car. So
I texted him.
Hope
He
he's
hasn't
okay.
responded.
What's that?
I texted him, but he hasn't responded.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
Yeah, me too.
So he was walking around, he was talking to me, he was, he seemed, not in bad shape, but he got hit pretty hard.
Was it right near the courthouse, Your Honor?
Radio and airport. Where the left-hand turn lane turns into those 3 turn lanes?
Mhm.
he told me that the car behind him, there was no skidding, there was no nothing, just no brakes, just wham,
That's
right in
terrible.
the back of his car. Someone rear-ended Nicole Mira in the same area too, and Steve Maresca. Like, careful, that is apparently the place for lawyers to get hit. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Where were we?
Are you ready?
Yep.
Elena Melnikov, 20mm 939. If we could also put this one back on the pretrial docket.
Okay. 28 to 9, please. I'm sorry? Yes. Yes. Did any of these were any of these cases that were speedy had not been waived? Do you know this all?
I don't know on David's cases, but I'm pretty sure my cases speedy had already been waived, but I don't know in David's cases.
If that becomes an issue, we can address it later. For right now, just put requested defense, and if right now speedy's still told, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But if it it can always be readdressed later. Everyone mark your files that the court was unable to have a trial this week, even though the defense was requesting one. Okay. All right, next one, please.
Rudy Mylinus Mylan, I don't know how to say that, 20 CT 497, also back on the pretrial docket.
Okay.
And then the same for Michelle Puente, 20 CT 40.
Mm-hmm. And just tell me if we're going too fast again. All right.
And then Brooke Rodriguez, this is a DV case, so if we could put that back on the DV pretrial.
Sure. That is the 25th at 10 o'clock. For DV pretrial.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking 20mm 1080.
Thank you.
And then Derek Vanderhoof, 19 CT 3020, also back on the pretrial docket.
The regular one?
Yes.
Okay. 28th at 9. And then I have one more with Mr. Wilson, Jordan Vasquez, 20 CT 676.
Also back on the pretrial docket.
Pretrial again, please. January 20. Do you have the case?
Which one's an off
Vasquez, Jordan Vasquez, 20 CT 676.
That's it for us, I think, Your Honor. I haven't seen the new girl yet, but if I do see her, I'll make sure to bring her with me on Thursday.
Yeah, please do. I would like to say hi.
Okay.
And if you talk to Dave, give him my best. I hope he's doing okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I will do that. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Gentlemen, I'll give. I've got. Now I don't know if Mr. Nunez and Mr. Fayette heard the news that we don't have jurors and just bailed, but I'll give them another 8 minutes, and if they don't join us, I'll just continue them to the pretrial.
Your Honor, wait, may we ask a question in the interim?
Sure. Do you want to go off the record?
Not at all.
Okay.
Just regarding your docket. So one of the, Mr. Rasinko and I were trying to figure out the priority of cases and how you would call cases, whether it would be based on age or other factors.
You mean as far as which cases are going to go to trial?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stewart asked me this question. You're not going to like my answer.
Okay.
The number one priority, period, is people who might be in custody, right? For obvious reasons, if they are maintaining their innocence and this is what is holding them, they will get the first shot at the trial. After that, it gets a little more complicated. refusals to waive speedy might likely take priority because while speedy is told right now and the current AO says that we're going to have 90 days after the reinstatement of speedy trial to go, even if that happens, our access to jury panels is going to be limited for quite some time, right? I imagine that we're not going to go back to normal where every judge can have a jury anytime that they want, and so getting speedy trials done within that window is going to be challenging once that's reinstated. So that might take a priority depending upon what the case is. Now, if the state's willing to roll the dice on a speedy trial in favor of another case, then that's going to be on you guys. But I'm going to give you the opportunity to try the speedy trial cases first, because if you allow that case to be continued in favor of an older case, and then speedy becomes an issue, that could blow back on you guys. But my plan is to turn to you and ask you if you want that speedy one to go first and have it take priority if there's one on the docket. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Because it's to the detriment of the state to allow another case to go in front of that one. Unlike when things are normal, I can't just drag a jury in any time within that 15-day recapture window and get it done. So then we get to just the bulk of the rest of the cases. Age is a factor in determining priority, but it's not the only factor. For example, I will take a much newer battery case where there's a victim who wants their day in court, or a defendant who wants their day in court, where there's much more serious issues, say over a really old DWS, right? Same thing, a DUI with damage where somebody got struck is going to take priority over an FWC case. No offense to FWC, but a small fish does not take priority over someone who got struck by a drunk driver. And so age is a factor depending on what the nature of the cases are. And then of course, I'll listen to arguments from both sides as to prejudice for a continuance. If there's people who really want their trial to go, and I've got more than one party saying, listen, it's my turn, I really need to go, and here's why, I'll just have to weigh whatever is presented to me as to what the prejudice is for a continuance for someone who really wants their trial. And then and then we'll have to see. So like I said, you're not gonna like my answer. In fact, I can't give you that kind of certainty. It depends on what's set. It depends on the nature of the cases. It depends upon the equities involved for the people involved with it. You might have a victim who really wants their day in court, and that might take priority, or someone who's a defendant who's looking to move out of the state but is waiting until they get their trial resolved before they can go.
What if that most likely case to go for you, there's a conflict on a Tuesday with the defense attorney, but they're available the rest of the week? Would you be willing to have that case start on Wednesday rather than Tuesday?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, if I have a trial week, I will make it. If I got to go on Friday, Friday's no good. I can't start a case on Friday for risk that it rolls into a second day. I don't have that ability to have that jury panel come back on Monday, right? So I only have the 1 week. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my starting days for trial.
Okay.
I would much prefer to start a trial on Tuesday. So if you have a case where defense for some reason can't start until Wednesday or Thursday, or you have witness issues that you can't start until Wednesday or Thursday, if we can find another case to start on Tuesday, preferably a short one, a one-day one, let's try a case on Tuesday, wrap it up, start another one Wednesday or Thursday. We can do 2 trials in a week.
And then, so that was going to be my next question, Your Honor. On this docket, there are a few cases that are refusals and DUIs. You would have no problem hearing the refusal case earlier in the week and the DUI subsequent?
Sure. Although what tends to happen is that if you obtain a conviction on the refusal, there's no need to go forward on the DUI.
Right.
The conviction on the refusal tends to take care of everything.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
As always, when there's multiple counts like that, it's the state's preference. If there is a severance of the charges, it's always the state's preference which case goes first. but like I said, we can try multiple cases in a week, particularly misdemeanors. Now I know we have it slows things down a little bit with all the the COVID restrictions that we're going to have, but we should be able to try most cases within a day, with only a few exceptions.
Yes, sir.
And so, we have to take advantage of juror time when we have it, which is why, on a backup week, if we had a panel this week, I know Ms. Creamy had asked me what the plan was. And I know this is, puts a lot on you guys, and it's difficult for you because you have to prep a lot of cases, most of which won't go. You have to have all your witnesses, kind of hanging on this to wait to see what happens. But let's say we had a panel this week that was available, and Judge Manuel had 1 or 2 cases that said they were going to go, and I have a couple that say they still want to go. I would set you guys for tomorrow in a holding pattern, even if Judge Manuel was planning on starting a trial tomorrow. And the reason why is if something happens with, they work out a plea deal at the last second, particularly on some of the more serious felony cases, sometimes defendants just need to see the whites of the jurors' eyes, and then they get nervous and they plea. But he can have 2 major felony cases set where we're like, oh, well, they're going to go. And then they both plea. But I've got a panel of jurors in the building. I can't waste that. We need to take advantage. A, we're dragging these people into the building. And B, the opportunity to have a jury is so limited now. If there's a panel here, we've got to make the best of it. So I want to have my cases ready to go in case his wash out, even though the likelihood is small. And so I recognize that puts a lot on you, your witnesses, all the prep work you're going to have to do, which will mostly likely be for naught, and I apologize for that. But I have to be able to take advantage of a panel if there's one available.
Your Honor, would that also be the case if Judge Manuel only had a single trial that went on Tuesday? Would you, as backup, be able to go later that week?
I would still set everybody for Tuesday, and once again, sort of in a holding pattern. I wouldn't make everyone come to the courtroom. I would just tell the lawyers to have your witnesses ready, be ready to go, stand by. And if Judge Manuel didn't go on Tuesday for one reason, I'd call everybody and say, come on down, we're bringing a jury in.
What if he did go on Tuesday? Would you
Then
still be able to?
Someone to be on standby for Wednesday.
Okay.
Or Thursday, as the case may be. I wouldn't set a docket and have everyone come down. I said everyone just stand by, but be ready that we might be the ones to go depending on the circumstances. And so, like I said, I know it puts a lot of people on the hook for something that's likely not going to happen, but I just can't wait the panel. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So in advance, I apologize for wasting a lot of your time because I'm going to do that.
Thank you. We know it's hard on you as well.
I'm not gonna lie. It's obviously it's frustrating. I was a prosecutor. I am a trial judge because I like trying cases. A lot of cases just simply cannot resolve unless there really is a trial on the horizon. And so, obviously it's frustrating, but we all, deal with, we all dealing with this while it's still a thing. And eventually things will get better and we'll get, life will get back to normal. But in the meantime, we all just sort of have to deal. So, but, so I appreciate you guys, your flexibility with all this and your understanding when I'm going to be kind of difficult about this. I hope you understand why.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And thank you for the explanation.
Sure. All right. So Mr. Fayette and Mr. Nunez are not coming. We're going to put both their cases on the private counsel
Mr. Fayette was here. He requested Zoom codes. Advised him that he received Zoom codes on Friday and walked away.
Okay. Well, pre-trial conference, both the last remaining cases. Sorry, I'm off the record.
Would you like me to record or try to find him again?
No, there's really no need. There's nothing. There's not much we can do.
No, this will lead to. Never mind. Go ahead. Continue.
Pre-trial conference, please. Both cases. January 27th, 9 o'clock. If Mr. Fay is upset, I can talk to him later about it.
Since they're not here, it's going to be set for, or you have to.
Oh, hold on. It's like he hears us. Hello? Uh-oh, it's my internet that just froze. Can you guys hear me? My internet froze. Hold on, everybody. This is what happened in traffic court.
Yeah, was that Eduardo that tried to sign
I
that?
think it's Eduardo.
I see him.
All right. Yeah, the internet connection is unstable.
Your Honor, if I may,
Hello? Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Eduardo?
I'll text him, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, I just mute myself when you need me. I mean,
It's okay. We're done.
Eduardo, you can hang up, we are done.
oh, we're done. Okay,
Yes, sir.
no need
All
for
right. Happy New Year. Take care.
Same to you, Your Honor. Yes.
Like I said, I was late getting the Zoom codes out. I'll apologize to Mr. Fayette for, for not getting it done sooner. But in the meantime, there's really nothing we can do today other than to continue it. So unless, Mr. Rab, Mr. Cinco, did you know whether or not he had a plea in absentia ready to go on either of those?
No, Your Honor, our understanding is that the defendant has been deported to
Oh,
Belarus
right. Right.
on Mr. Fayette's case.
That's right.
It was the state's intention to require presence at the next court date. However, if it's a pretrial and appearance has been waived by counsel, I don't believe we can do that.
All right.
So I will
The
leave that
problem
to
is,
Mr.
without Mr. Fayette here, I'm not comfortable to putting that on him because I don't know, there may be developments. This case was set from a pretrial where Mr. Fayette needed coverage. So I feel more comfortable putting it back on a pretrial and give Mr. Fayette an opportunity to be present before we do something that could result in a bench warrant for his client.
Understood. So this is Mr. Lucarelli's fault.
Yes, let's blame him.
Perfect.
All right.